Welcome to The Explainer. So, what's next for humanity? And I mean, what's really next? Today, we're diving into a roadmap for our future, all based on the incredible work of physicist Dr. Michio Kaku. Where is all this technology actually taking us? Let's find out. So, let's just start with this huge idea from Dr. Kaku. He argues that what we're living through right now isn't just another chapter of history, it's the single biggest leap our species has ever taken. So what on earth does he mean by a planetary civilization? Well, to understand where we're going, Dr. Kaku says you have to understand where we've been. He sees the last few hundred years as these big waves of innovation, and each one totally transforms society and how we think about wealth. So you had the first wave, right? That was all about steam power. Then came the second, electricity, cars, mass production. The third wave is the one many of us grew up in, computers, the internet, all that good stuff. But Dr. Kaku says we are now hitting the fourth and most powerful wave yet. It's a moment where three huge technologies, we're talking AI, biotech, and nanotech, are all coming of age at the exact same time. And it's that fusion, that combination, that's going to power this great transition. Okay, so let's get into the first piece of this puzzle, artificial intelligence. And more than that, how it's set to completely redefine our relationship with information and, well, with reality itself. Right now, the internet is a place we go to. We pull out a phone, we look at a screen. But the future he's talking about, what he calls the brain net, is totally different. It's more like an intelligent layer woven right into the world around us. Information isn't something you have to search for, it's something you just access with a thought, an idea. It just comes to you, maybe through smart contact lenses or something even more direct. And what's the engine behind all this? It's a little thing called Moore's Law. For decades, computing power has basically doubled every year and a half, while the price just falls through the floor. Dr. Kaku's big prediction is that a computer chip will one day cost a single penny, a penny. And when computer power is that cheap, it stops being a thing we own. It just becomes invisible, disposable, kind of like electricity. It's just everywhere, powering a smart planet. So what does this actually look like? It means computers just disappear. They melt into our walls, our clothes, maybe even our bodies. The world itself becomes the internet. And this leads to something economists get really excited about called perfect capitalism. It's an economy where buyers and sellers have perfect, instant information about everything. All the advantages of hidden knowledge just vanish. You just think about buying a car, and instantly all the data from every manufacturer and seller would be right there in your mind. All right, so that's intelligence, but what about life itself? That brings us to the second massive pillar of this new era, our newfound ability to not just compute information, but to digitize and literally reprogram living things. You know, for almost all of human history, medicine was kind of a guessing game. But then we mapped the human genome, and we started to read what Dr. Kaku calls the Book of Life. And now, with incredible tools like CRISPR, we're going from just reading the book to becoming its editors. We are turning biology into digital code that we can actually rewrite. And this is where things get really paradigm shifting. Take cancer. Instead of waiting for a tumor to grow big enough to see, a simple blood test, a liquid biopsy, could detect cancer at stage 0, when it's just a few rogue cells floating around. Then we could program these tiny nanoparticles to go hunt down and destroy only those cancer cells. It's like finding a typo in the code and fixing it before it can crash the whole program. And you know, this leads to probably one of the most profound questions we could ever ask. Scientists are starting to see aging as simply the accumulation of errors in our cells. So, if we get good enough at fixing those errors, what happens then? Does aging stop being inevitable and just become another treatable condition? It completely forces us to rethink what a human lifespan even is. Okay, so we've covered intelligence and we've covered life. The third monster revolution is nanotechnology. If biotechnology is all about reprogramming life, then nanotechnology is about reprogramming, well, all of matter. Now, Dr. Kaku doesn't throw a quote like that around lightly. What he's getting at is the power to build anything from the bottom up. I mean, nature does this all the time, right? A tree builds itself from dirt, air, and water, one atom at a time. Nanotechnology is simply about humanity learning how to have that same creative power. And yeah, this is where your brain might start to hurt a little because we're stepping right into science fiction territory. Think about the replicator from Star Trek, a machine that can literally assemble any object you want from a pile of atoms. Imagine objects made of programmable matter, a car that could repair its own dents, or clothes that could change color on command. It's a future that completely upends our entire concept of scarcity and manufacturing. So, let's take a breath. We've got near infinite computing power, mastery over our own biology, and control over matter itself. So, where do we go from here? What's the point of it all? What's the end game for humanity? Well, to even think about that question, we can use this really cool framework called the Kardashev scale. It was thought up by an astronomer, and it classifies civilizations based on one simple universal thing: how much energy they can use. It's a way of measuring our progress on a truly cosmic scale. So here's the path. A Type 1 civilization has completely mastered its home planet. It controls the weather, volcanoes, all of it. Right now, we're about a Type 0.7, so we're getting close. A Type 2 civilization goes bigger. It harnesses the entire energy output of its star, maybe by building something like a giant sphere around it. And a Type 3, well, a Type 3 commands the energy of its entire home galaxy. I mean, just look at the jump in power here. Becoming a Type 1 civilization means we've created a truly sustainable, unified planetary culture. Reaching Type 2 basically makes us immortal as a species. No ice age or asteroid could wipe us out. And Type 3, that's the realm of true galactic explorers, masters of their corner of the universe. But here's the catch. This incredible roadmap to the stars, it's not a guarantee. It's just a possibility. The fusion of AI, biotech, and nanotech is giving us the tools to build this amazing future. But whether we can overcome our own tribalism and our own divisions to actually take that first step to become a planetary civilization, that's still the biggest question of all.